Ever get that feeling that there's something more locked away inside your head? A kind of hidden genius? Well, today we are diving deep into the mystery of the Savant, because it might just hold the key to a potential that exists in every single one of us. And this quote, it just nails what we're talking about. It's this idea that the savant mind isn't some strange anomaly. No, it's more like we're getting a peek inside a treasure chest that we all have, but for them, the lock is broken. So that brings us to the big question, the central paradox that we're going to solve today. How can someone have this incredible, almost superhuman genius, but at the same time struggle just to form a simple sentence? The answer is, well, it's going to surprise you. All right, here's how we're going to break this all down. We'll start with the puzzle itself, the savant silent genius. Then we'll introduce a really simple model for how your brain works, the two bosses. After that, we'll look at the incredible power of what's called disinhibition. Check out a mind-blowing experiment. And then at the very end, give you a way to test this all for yourself. Okay, so first up, the puzzle. Savantism is all about this incredible contrast, right? You've got someone who can tell you the day of the week for a date 40,000 years in the past in an instant, but might not be able to tie their own shoes. It's that combination of unbelievable skill and profound struggle that we really need to get our heads around. So the key to this whole mystery, it actually comes down to a really simple but powerful metaphor for what's going on inside your own head. Just imagine you have two competing bosses living up there, and they are constantly in a power struggle. Let's meet the team. On one side, you've got the manager. This is your left brain. It's loud, it's dominant, it thinks in words, makes lists, and most importantly, it judges and filters everything. It runs on those fast, high-alert beta brainwaves. And then you've got the artist, your right brain. It's quiet, suppressed. It doesn't see words. It sees pictures and patterns. It experiences the world in raw, unfiltered emotional detail. It works on those slower, dreamy alpha and theta waves, the state associated with deep creativity and memory. So in pretty much all of us, guess who's in charge? Yup, the manager. It's constantly shouting over the artist, filtering reality, simplifying everything, telling you, don't worry about the details, just give it a label and move on. And this constant suppression, our source for this explainer calls it the tyranny of the left hemisphere. And here is the absolute game changer, the crucial insight into the savant brain. That loud, bossy manager is quiet. The filter is just gone. The lock is broken. And when that happens, the artist is finally free from being suppressed. It's a phenomenon called disinhibition. So this brings us to the power of disinhibition. What actually happens when that filter gets switched off? What does the world look like when the artist finally gets to report back everything it sees with no interruptions? Okay, think about this. For you and me, when we look at a cat, our manager brain kicks in immediately. It takes all that complex visual data, squashes it down, slaps a label on it, cat, and throws away the rest of the details as junk. It's efficient, for sure, but we lose so much information. But the savant's brain? Whoa, it gets the whole, raw, uncompressed file. It's not just seeing a cat. It's perceiving the thousands of individual hairs, the exact wavelengths of light bouncing off them, the very texture of the purr. This is what's known as privileged access to reality. And this privileged access explains feats that sound totally impossible. Take the artist Stephen Wiltshire. You can fly him over a city in a helicopter once, and he can then draw the entire skyline from memory, down to the exact number of windows on every single building. How? Because his brain isn't just labeling it city. It's downloading the raw data, tapping into that deep visual theta wave state where pure, unfiltered memory lives. Okay, this is a fascinating theory, right? But it begs a massive question. Does this unfiltered artist exist in all of us? Is it just hiding behind the loud manager? Well, a group of scientists decided to run a pretty wild experiment to find out. They used this really cool piece of tech called RTMS. You can think of it like a safe, temporary off switch for parts of your brain. By using these gentle magnetic pulses, they could basically tell the loud, dominant manager boss, hey, you, just be quiet for a few minutes. And what happened? Well, the results were just jaw-dropping. In ordinary, non-savant adults, when they temporarily turned down the volume on the manager, the subject's ability to draw and solve complex math problems suddenly, dramatically, shot through the roof. For a little while, they had created artificial savants. This experiment led to a totally revolutionary conclusion. It completely changes how we should think about savantism. The genius we see in savants, it's not some rare genetic fluke. It's not a special power only a few people get. Instead, and this is where it gets really personal, the profound implication is that this genius, this incredible ability to see the world in its raw, beautiful detail, is a dormant potential that exists inside every single one of us. It's just waiting for the manager to take a coffee break. So, if this potential is inside you, is there a way to get a little peek at it without a giant magnet machine? You bet there is. Let's try a simple experiment you can do right now. It's called the disinhibition test. It's super simple. First, grab a pen and paper and just draw a face from memory. Go ahead. That's your manager boss working, drawing the concept of a face. Now, find a picture of a face and turn it upside down. Your job is to draw that. But here's the trick. Force yourself to only see the lines, the shapes, the shadows. Don't think that's a nose or that's an eye. Just copy the abstract forms you see. See what you just did there? By flipping the image, you confused your verbal manager. It couldn't put a label on what it was seeing, so it got frustrated and quiet. It let your artist take over. Now, when you finish, turn your drawing right side up. I'm willing to bet it's way more accurate and realistic than your first try. You just proved it yourself. Your inner artist is brilliant. You just have to trick the manager into shutting up for a minute. And that's what I want to leave you with. A pretty big question, really. If a simple little drawing trick can unlock a hidden talent you didn't even know you had, what else? What other incredible abilities, what other beautiful, raw ways of seeing the world is your inner manager filtering out every single day?